Hello everybody, and thank you for coming back to the channel. And after the abrupt end of the previous chapter, I hope that this one is indeed the last chapter in the build of the Hurricane. So the first steps that I'm going to take is to paint here the patch that I'm taking off. I already painted it brown, so now I'm going to paint it green. This is the patch that I'm taking off, so I'm going to kind of emulate that. One thing that I have done, I don't know if you can see, there was an idea from Cliff, so thank you Cliff for that tip, to try to sand down the paint so that it's not so rough. I did try it and it doesn't look too good. This is not sanded and this is sanded. Maybe it is smoother, but it's not, but the color actually goes off. So I'm going to actually leave it as is, not so smooth, but maybe better in color, and hopefully with the lacquer at the end it will help. So that's going to be then the first step, try to get that fixed. Then of course still the battery hatch, try to get the magnets in, and then finish off the cowling. Also I still need to put on the exhaust pipes, put back the aileron rods, and it's almost done. Then also the decals, and then maybe some taxiing around, some playing before I actually go and try to fly it. So let's see if this one is indeed the final one. So follow me along on this one. And a bit of progress. So I've painted the green wing there, so you can see it's still wet, and I started already with the battery hatch. Let's see if I can show it here. So there's the battery hatch. Those are the two magnets in there. What I do, if you can notice, I mark the side of the magnet that will go inside with an X, so that I know what is, somehow it doesn't need to be negative or positive, but somehow that it's the match inside. And of course I do run into some issues. I was using this kind of copy of Dremel and I've got a little tip there to carve, I think it is. So I was feeling a little bit like a dentist going into the wood. I have it at the minimum power, minimum turns, because it is very soft, so I suppose it's very easy to break something. And then of course when I was gluing it, then something slid and I glued my fingers, as I tend to do. So that's why I don't like super glue. So that one I think should be okay. Let's see if I can unstick the magnet. Yes, okay, so one magnet is in, the other one isn't. And I've also done the equivalent hole, let's see if I can see it, in there. Again, it probably would have been better to do this before I do the painting. It's a bit of a retrofit, but hopefully I won't get my fingers stuck together again with super glue, and I'll be able to have a functioning battery hatch. It's finally starting to look like something. I've assembled it all just to have it assembled basically. The magnet is on the battery hatch. I don't know if I can take it off with one hand. Yeah, there it goes. So battery hatch kind of clicks in slightly. I need probably two hands for this, but it does fit in kind of, so which is good. I'll leave it like that now. The cowling is still not completely fixed, and I want to leave it like that because I might need weights. I've also done a bit more painting on the underside. Again, I don't know if you can see it, and I've put also the servo arm and the rods. I might need to take it off again, I'm thinking, but at least that is already there. And the next step is going to be to put on the exhaust pipes. I've painted them already before taking them out of the plastic mold, and those will be stuck somewhere here. I've also got on the plastic molding the spinner that I don't need, because I've got the propeller, and I've got this, I think it's probably an oil cooler or something like that would go underneath it. I think I'm not going to put on because it probably wouldn't last very long there anyhow. Maybe then later on could be an upgrade. So that's the progress. And then after I do then the exhaust pipes, then it'll be the decals. Let's see how that goes. A little bit of progress on the decals. As you can see, the decals are probably the nicest part of the whole model as I build it. I'm still not completely done. I still have the other side to do. There is what's remaining, and I must say that the decals are very nicely done from Guillows. I have to admit that they're really very nicely done. So the next steps is going to be to put the remaining decals here on the fuselage. I'm missing 1, 2, 3, the roundel and the letters, and I've put on the masking tape already on the canopy and also on the nose where the propeller holder there. And the next step will be somehow covering it in lacquer, maybe two or three layers. One thing that I did notice when I was putting on the the roundels on the underside is that the paint, the grey paint, didn't seem to be as water resistant as the paint on top, which is a bit of a worry. So I've got to make sure that I do put quite a lot of lacquer on the underside of the model. So, and here it is. So the finished Hurricane. You can see the battery hatch is a bit off because I've got the battery inside but not connected, so didn't want to squeeze it in. And I've got it perched up on the 2 pencils that I have into that foam board. So basically where I think the center of gravity should be. I'm not quite sure because I didn't find it on the plan. I have to maybe to look a little bit better. I did put in some nose weight in the front, inside the cowling I put in some plastiline in there. So I think it's now kind of okay. I do have, in case it does need more weight, this kind of on purpose, but accidentally on purpose, I think as Winnie the Pooh used to say, the elevator is pointing down a little bit to compensate in case I need more weight in there. And I might need to correct a little bit the rudder to have a little bit more of right rudder. It's kind of pointing a little bit to the left. I remember the instructor always saying right rudder, right rudder, right rudder, so I'm sure there's a reason for that. So for the moment, or at this moment, it looks like it's ready, and hopefully the next chapter will be a successful maiden. That's kind of the aim of the whole thing. So let's see how it goes, and now it's going to be time to play a little bit with it. Thank you everybody for watching and following along on this one, and I'll see you next time.